Yay. We are live on Facebook. Hey everybody, it's Chef Amy Says, and I have Molly Brown with me. Molly was a teacher, or should we call you Miss Brown, or
But
is there
it's
Miss
fine.
B?
It's here in Abu Dhabi. They just usually say Miss and Sir, which it took me a while. Normally though, if they do say it's Miss Brown, but you can call me Molly Brown. It's fine. I'm not. These are my off hours. I'm off.
Yeah, so y'all, we have Molly. She was a teacher at the International School in Louisiana, and she is now in Abu Dhabi. And for everyone out there, you'll know that I'm like obsessed with the house float thing because I love Mardi Gras, and this is how we are celebrating. And it just makes my heart happy to know that people all over the world are celebrating with us. So I stalked Molly on Facebook on the expats page until she said yes. And then I had originally scheduled her for earlier this week. And then I realized that I had the time zones wrong, and I had no intention of her having to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to show us her house float. So she was sweet enough to reschedule. So, hey, Molly.
Hey, welcome to Abu Dhabi, everybody. It's night, so you can't see anything. So sorry, you can see my apartment. That's about what I got right now.
So, Molly, you lived in New Orleans for a little while as a teacher. What was it like to go to your first Mardi Gras? Did locals take you under their wing? How did that work?
Yeah, well, so I moved to New Orleans in 2007. So those years right after Katrina, the Mardi Gras was pretty small at this point. Like there was front rows to everything. And that was like, you could be in the front and catch all the things. And it was so amazing and wonderful that I remember after, I don't know how many parades, because when you're young and single and you first move someplace, you can do all the parades, all of them, all the days, and you're still fine and able to go into work in one piece. And I remember just looking around and being like, why is this not a thing everywhere? I don't understand. It's amazing. And then, and then like when I got married and had children and bringing my kids to the parades, and just like that's their norm for parades. Like we went to a parade in Detroit for Thanksgiving with my husband's family, and they were just like, I don't understand. Where's the thing? Why aren't they throwing things? They're like,
Why don't we get free stuff?
Like, why aren't people happier? This is like, why? Like, they were just like, I don't understand. Why aren't you drinking? Where are the beads? I'm so confused. And like parades are ruined for them for the rest of their lives. If we go anywhere else, they're going to be like, no, 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 lame. But it was, we figured out, our spots, and after, I don't know, 11 years, 12 years of living in New Orleans, like we got every parade, we had our own spot where we'd meet the same people, some people you haven't seen for like a year, but you always would meet back. And just like, that was great. Like, and you became like friends and family with everyone around you. Everyone was like, oh, hey, try some of the crawfish. Oh, hey, we've got king cake. Here's a cooler. Oh, here, you can put your ladder right up here, and it was just, yeah, like that. I think that was my favorite part, going to the parades and just like all of a sudden, like you knew everyone in your area. Like you all were like a crew.
They were your people.
Crew. Those are your people, right? So, and I think that was one of my most favorite things about Mardi Gras.
I love it. And I keep looking down at my phone because we're getting all kinds of like hearts and thumbs up from all the people who are watching us live. So, hey, Lisa. Hey, Charlie. Hey, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Molly and I are just talking Mardi Gras and house floats and all that good stuff. And, I'm with you, Molly. It's like, once you get your little crew around you and everybody's got their spot, and you're like, I know somebody on float number 7. And then everybody's screaming, Kathy, right? And we're going to split the loot. And
yeah, that
turns
was great. You share, like everybody's like, oh, hey, I have that. Especially when you have kids, Like it gets to the point where like we'd be on the ladders and we'd see people go to and throw things and we'd be behind the kids going, we're like, no, 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 stop giving my children. Because like at the end, you're just like, what are we gonna like, you know, where we're there going, hey, it's okay, no, it's fine, save it. There's kids further down, we're good. You know, no, they don't need that, you know, 10-foot teddy bear. Just stop, please. No, don't throw that.
Yes, you always need the 10-foot teddy bear, Molly. Always. I need the 10-foot teddy bear just to be like, I have a 10-foot teddy bear.
Yeah, you kind of feel pride when you do those, right? You're like, look at, that's all right. That's how good I am. Look at this. Right here. I did that. I did that.
Yeah, I kind of laugh because I ride in Muses, and the girl Erin, she and I think we had to reinforce the bottom of the float because we buy so much stuff, and always the night before the parade, we're like, we don't have enough stuff, and it's like a quick run to get more things. And we have learned over the years, it is about the plush toys because I am out of shape, and that's a lot of throwing. And at least the little teddy bears and squishy toys and things like that, I'm not exhausted 2 hours into the ride, but it is so awesome to see. Like if you're behind them on the ladder, you can't see their face, but as we're throwing to them, to see the kid's face and that look of like they're watching, and you can see them stalking whatever little toy you're holding, and you make eye contact, and they're
Well,
like,
I'm so big with the eye contact. If you don't, that's my one issue. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people where if someone reaches in front of me, I'm like, I built a relationship with that person on the float from like, we were looking, we were nodding, pointing, me gesturing, them point like, this is what you want, you going, yes. And they get ready, then someone snatches. I'm like, I worked for, like, I feel like I was cheated on. I'm like, we had something.
We were tight.
Right, like we know each other kind of like in this moment. We're like besties. What are you doing? But it's true. My kids even like have gotten really good at knowing like even the good beads, like, you know, just the generic ones. Sometimes my oldest will be like, oh, and I'm like, well, that was rude. And she's like, Mom, those aren't the good ones. Like, I'm not. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. My 6-year-old is, you know, all bougie with her beads all of a sudden. She's like, no, thank you.
Well, I do love when we get practical items. I have caught Band-Aids. I have caught like hand soap. And then one of my favorites was shoelaces one year. And I'm like, this is such a practical item. This is something that's not going to sit in my attic forever.
Right? That you won't be like, oh, we're going to repurpose this. I'm always a fan of the snacks. Because with our kid, like especially like me, pre-kids was always a fan of the snacks. I was always like, yes, chips. And then like with the kids, I'm always like, here are just snacks. Like, you know, you will be fine. So the snacks were always, we're always very solid. Yeah, just in general, my husband is way more practical with the things. Like after the parade, I would have all these bags and he would just be like, I'm like, yep, all of them. They're all coming with us. I'm like, no throw gets left behind, honey. No throw gets left behind.
Well, I love it. I love it. And I am so excited about your enthusiasm about Mardi Gras. And hey, Raymond, thanks for watching. We have lots of people watching. Can you show us a little bit? I know you don't have a big front yard there in Abu Dhabi, but you're doing some decorating.
I am, right. So I live in an apartment. When we first moved to Abu Dhabi, our school gave us school housing, and it's like a small 2-bedroom apartment, which is fine. And so like I did my best in decorating the hallway because like, you know, Mardi Gras, most people who are not from the States or from the area know what Mardi Gras is. And, you know, I still want my kids to be like, we are celebrating Mardi Gras the way we can. So we're going to decorate the door. Like it, you know, at one point I'm like, this looks like a middle school door decorating competition thing, but I'm going to own it and it's fine. You know, my neighbors liked it. There's a family from India across the hallway, and I'll show you as I'm talking so you can. There is a family from India across the hallway. When they came out, they were like, what is this? And I got to explain Mardi Gras to them and they thought it was amazing. And this was my first year here, so I couldn't take over other people's doorways and be rude and be like, hi, are you using your door? No? Okay. Are you gonna use this hallway? No? Okay. So yeah, so this is, our door kind of pops open. And so I'll try to, here, let's see if I can zoom in, but if not, what I can do, here, I'll just do this and then my husband will have to come get me. So, right, we start here. I guess I can just try to see. So this is like the sign that I made. Abu Dhabi Oasis. I did a lot of this in between classes at school. Like using the materials I had. So yeah, I just kind of made it like an oasis, like, Abu Dhabi itself is an oasis in the desert. So I'm like, we're kind of like doing a Mardi Gras oasis. And it's been really cool to explain to, my friends and their kids. We have some real beads that we're going to give out to our close friends that I hoarded from years past. So yeah, and then my students showed me how to say or write Happy Mardi Gras in Arabic. I can't pronounce it. I tried and they were like, please stop. Please stop trying to say it. It's just, you're embarrassing yourself. So yeah, and this is kind of like a traditional Arabic flower pattern that I just used. And yeah, it was super fun. So I think it locks automatically. So I'm gonna need my husband to open it. But right, and so then I just put in lights. I know, it's fine. I put in lights and yeah, my girls love it. Like our neighbors come by and ask our doormans, like, I love your decorations. And it was really cool telling my students about it. Like they didn't know anything about it. And I'm like, they're like, so I mentioned something about painting and they're like, what are you painting? And I'm like, oh, my door for Mardi Gras. And they're like, what's Mardi Gras? And I'm like, well, I'm like, we're going to put our lessons on hold for a second. And yeah, we ended up just having a class on Mardi Gras. I just kept showing them pictures and like stuff. It was really cool.
Well, I think that you need to have a day where you put all the kids, have them stand on their chairs and throw things at them and see, be like, here's here's this, here's that. And I'll let everybody practice catching things. Cause I'm a little concerned that our kids are going to be, Louisiana kids are going to be out of shape next year when it comes to Mardi Gras because they didn't get their good practice in.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So my youngest actually has started practicing where she'll sit in her bed and we'll be on the floor and we'll have to do like, throw me something, and like, she'll practice throwing us things and we'll catch it. Yeah. So that's what we've been doing, to practice. And what's really cool too, is, there's, an American Moms in Abu Dhabi page. And I posted, my pictures on there and a map because I'm like, hey, I don't know how many of you are from New Orleans or the South or just know people with Mardi Gras. And I've heard from like several people who are from the greater New Orleans area who live in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and in Egypt. And they're all like, we had no idea, this is great. And I'm like, well, maybe next year. Like, so, and I definitely think like for expats, especially that this is going to be a thing. This is going to be a thing for like years to come.
Well, I love it. And I can't thank you enough for sharing your little bit of Mardi Gras with us. And hey, little one, how are you? She said, I'm tired. It's almost done. Well, thank you for staying up and for talking to us and for doing all the fun things and decorating your house. And so to Molly and her family and to everyone who is visiting her house.
Thank you so much for doing this. I love talking about it. It makes me just so happy and I miss it. And I miss King Cake so much and super Kiss. Even she knows, she's like, King Cake, right? We know King Cake. King Cake, right? So can you guys say Happy Mardi Gras to everybody? Happy Mardi Gras. Happy Mardi Gras. All right. Thank you so much for doing that.
All right. Bye-bye.